Welcome back to the Bloomington Breakfast Club Hoosiers. I'm Gabrielle Valenson.
And I'm Juliana Mary.
We are back in studio for season 4 and we're looking forward to bringing you the best content yet.
That's right, we have a lot in store for you this season, including new segments and lots of new guests right here from our Bloomington community.
To kick off season 4, stay tuned for our first guest who opened his own vintage apparel and sneaker shop right here on Indiana Avenue, and who also happens to be an IU alum.
Grab your cup of coffee, Hoosiers, and stick around. It's going to be a good morning. We want to introduce our new segment that will give you the latest Bloomington updates to help start your week.
Here is your morning wake-up call, Hoosiers. So to start, January 24th marks IUPUI's 50th anniversary since the university was officially established in 1969.
A group that calls themselves the Nasty Women are starting a movement to increase the women's Little 500 race to include 200 laps instead of 100. So far, they have 375 signatures on the petition.
Over 1,000 IU students received bids to join a sorority. However, one, Chi Omega, was put on cease and desist in the middle of recruitment and decided not to accept a new pledge class.
A group of IU comprehensive design majors created a playground for children in Powley, Indiana, using a software called Rhino.
And Rent's 20th anniversary tour is coming to IU January 28th and 29th at the IU Auditorium. You can still get your tickets now.
And now we are going to toss it over to Jack Bassett with his segment, Jack on the Street, for his Martin Luther King Jr. Day special.
We here at the Bloomington Breakfast Club sure appreciate the sights and smells of a good breakfast, especially Indiana University catered buffets overflowing with delicious goodness. But here in Alumni Hall, this breakfast is more than just a way to fill people's bellies, but a way to remember the life of the great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. A sellout crowd fills every seat to listen to guest speakers, award acceptances, and musical performances that reflect the life's work of Dr. King. This annual tradition, presented by the IU Office of Diversity, Equity, and Multicultural Affairs, is led by keynote speaker, 4-time Olympic gold medalist, WNBA Indiana Fever champion, MVP, and 10-time All-Star, Tamika Catchings. The 6'1" basketball legend reflects upon her life's experiences and appreciation of Martin Luther King.
3 years old, being born with a hearing disability. 7 years old, making my own goal. One day I was playing in the NBA.
Catchings, born with hearing loss, spreads her awareness and wisdom to persist through anything and everything.
Never give up! Tore my Achilles, tore my ACL, tore my meniscus, broke my nose a couple times, broke a couple fingers, they don't look cute. Had a few teeth knocked out, but I've never given up.
This notion to never give up has become Tamika Catchings' strongest belief and purest philosophy to live life by.
I will never give up. I will never give up fighting for my teammates. I will never give up fighting for people like me with hearing disability. I will never give up from just being the best at every single thing that I can.
Being the best has led Catchings to inspire countless souls, calling upon them to find what makes them their best.
We all have something that pushes us. Whatever that is, whatever that looks like, find it. Because that seed that's planted and that thing that's in you to never give up, that's what keeps you going.
This mindset of the former WNBA star can be found in Catchings' memoir, Catch a Star. that she was willing to sign autographs and take pictures with after her speech, greeting everyone at the breakfast who wished to attend after her speech concluded. This personal interaction has made an impact on the attendees who appreciated this year's MLK breakfast.
I love coming to these events because it always leaves me feeling empowered. Every speaker that I've ever heard at these events leave me feeling very empowered.
You have to make an impact in however way is possible. Her way was just telling other people their story, and then Martin Luther King made a big impact today, so I want to make an impact in my community, so yeah.
Reporting from the Indiana Memorial Union, I'm Jack Bassett, wishing you all a very impactful morning.
Now it is time for our unnecessary updates of the day. Jules, what is going on in the world of celeb news and pop culture?
Well, Rihanna is suing her dad, Ronald Fenty, for using her name to make money with Fenty Entertainment.
I did not know this. Wow.
Yeah.
So she, you know what? I mean, she has, this year has been, these past couple of years with her new beauty products, and I mean, Fenty is just, the name itself is just a lot bigger than what it ever was, because we never heard, her name's just Rihanna.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. And I mean, it is still her dad's name also. So it's kind of a fine line. And she has made comments that are talking about how, like, family gets weird when you have money, and like when your fame gets in the way of family, it just creates kind of a weird dynamic.
Atmosphere.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it ends up.
Yeah. Disney is starting to remake their classic animated movies into live action films, which that's happened before. I mean, we've seen it. Beauty and the Beast. They've done. I feel like they've done so many Snow White renditions, things like that. But they're actually doing The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Mulan, The Lion King is coming. I'm very excited about. Aladdin, Dumbo. They're doing A Lady and the Tramp, Lilo and Stitch. All of these classics. They're gonna turn it into these live action films. I'm excited.
And if anyone's gonna do it, it's gonna be Disney.
Of course.
And they're gonna do it right, and they're gonna go over the top, and I'm so excited to see how they do that.
Oh, yes.
Also, of course, we could not have a segment without our Kardashian update.
Of course.
And
of course.
Stormy Jenner will turn 1 this year on February 1st.
Her golden birthday.
Yes, it is her golden birthday, and Kylie is on a tropical getaway right now with her to celebrate,
Start the celebrations.
Yes, because Stormy, it wouldn't be right if she didn't have a big celebration, of course.
Of course not. And speaking of Kylie, the whole egg being the most liked picture on Instagram, basically this account said we're going to get more likes than Kylie's picture. Her picture had the most, right?
Right.
Now they upped that. Anyway, Miley Cyrus, just to switch gears here, she said that she is not pregnant. There was a rumor she's pregnant. She is not. And she ended up tweeting out, now everyone can leave me alone and go back to staring at an egg. She was basically saying, no, she's not pregnant, but go ahead and just...
I just think that is so funny,
to divert the attention to that.
Right.
They're both ridiculous.
Right, but she also hinted at the fact that it might not be too long, so her and Liam would be the cutest baby, first of all.
They just tied the knot.
Cutest baby ever.
Yes.
So we'll see, hopefully. I mean, that's definitely exciting to look forward to.
We'll see.
Hi, I'm Gabrielle Valenson, co-host of the Bloomington Breakfast Club.
And I'm Bryce Reef, Creative Content Director for Indiana University Student TV. And if you enjoy the shows that we feature and want to get involved, then we've got great news for you.
IUSTV is always looking for motivated and talented individuals that want to help make the best shows possible. From sports and news to our morning and late night talk shows, we are looking for talent both in front of and behind the camera.
And if you don't have any experience, don't worry, we have professionals that will train you in gathering the skills you need to excel.
So if you ever wanted to work in the world of television, then email Bryce at breef@umail.iu.edu for getting involved with this great organization.
And please support IUSTV by subscribing to us on all social media platforms and our YouTube channel. We hope to hear from you soon, and go Hoosiers.
Our first guest this morning is not only a new business owner in Bloomington, but also an IU alum.
That's right. We are joined with Nick Ayala, the owner of Bloomington's first sneaker, vintage, and pop culture store. You can find anything from rare Air Jordans to vintage movie apparel.
Yep.
Hi.
Hello, how you guys doing?
We're so happy to have you. We're great.
Pleased to be here.
Thanks for coming.
Select Stock is also the only store in Bloomington that gives customers the opportunity to buy, sell, and trade their own vintage apparel. Well, let's let Nick take it from here.
Yes. So tell us where you got the idea for Select Stock. Where did this come from?
So I went to school here, obviously,
Okay.
from 2012 to 2016, and was super into clothes and shoes in high school, and then started college, obviously that too. But getting into college, I was in the business school here, so just kind of focused on getting a job, and I would sell a lot of my clothes and shoes for money, because you don't have money in college, obviously. Nobody has money. Everybody wants money. So there's kind of a hole in the market in Bloomington. There's no place. There's a couple of vintage stores, but there's no place for like high-end vintage items that people are super into. Like a lot of celebrities wear band t-shirts now, and old movie apparel and stuff like that. So it just kind of made sense. I went the traditional route in college, got a job right out of school, worked for Toyota in Ann Arbor, really good job. But after like a year and a half, there was just something missing, and I just didn't really feel fulfilled at work there. So I decided I'd have been, collecting stuff and saving up money and hopefully to quit one day. A spot came up for sale, or for rent down here on Indiana, which is like the perfect street, Indiana, Kirkwood, and kind of just took the leap to quit my job and move here and just open a store.
Wow.
How did you decide that Bloomington was the place that you wanted to come to the store?
So I went to school here, and I obviously have good memories here. Bloomington's an awesome town. It's not, Indiana's kind of gets a bad rap, but Bloomington's a little bit different than Indiana. It's kind of a melting pot. There's so many college students. It just kind of felt right to have my first store here. Hopefully I have multiple stores in the future. It's my plan. I just wanted to start out here because I'm familiar with the area. I like living here. I'm still kind of young, so it's not too weird to be back here, but I don't know, it just kind of felt perfect.
That's great. And what have you learned since becoming a business owner?
I've learned a lot.
I'm sure.
It basically 24/7. So when I used to work corporate, I'd work like 40, 50-hour weeks. That's the norm. But doing this, I kind of learned that nothing is expected. Like I have to pay myself every week, right? So sometimes I can't pay myself because it's a bad week, and there's so many unexpected things that occur, and you kind of just got to roll with the punches. Like summer here, obviously, 40,000 students pick up and leave.
Right.
So you kind of have to supplement your income and do different things and kind of go out of your comfort zone. And just kind of learned how to use everything I've learned in college. I was in the business school, supply chain, technology management, but like all those marketing classes, accounting classes, just all the finance stuff, like I do everything for my company. So I kind of just learned to kind of, use some of that information that I thought I blacked out while I was in college to, try to make my business successful.
Right.
That is so awesome. So tell us, what is your favorite item in the store right now?
So right now,
Is it here or no?
yeah, basically, I think it's here. There's so many things, it's kind of hard. I'm a big Seinfeld fan, so like this jacket is a cast and crew jacket, like a Nike cast and crew jacket.
So
like,
cool.
has
Yeah, let's see this.
Seinfeld on the back.
Oh, I love.
That's so
It was
cool.
actually one of like the cast members' jackets, like a stand-in on the show. He died, and so his jacket came up for sale. But this is my favorite thing I have.
And what's so cool about vintage apparel is it tells a story.
Yeah.
I mean, every
Yeah.
single
One of a
item
kind.
Exactly.
has something.
And a lot of these things, like this Seinfeld shirt, like most people in college probably don't even know what Seinfeld is. So like stuff like that, I like a lot just because it means a lot to me. My parents, grew up watching Seinfeld. I was born in '94, so Seinfeld was still on air. But one of my favorite things in the store right now is this satin jacket. It has
really
assembly
cool.
hall,
Can I-
like
can I
embroidered on the back. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Oh, yeah, this is really cool.
But stuff like this, like they just don't make things like this anymore, really. Like clothing nowadays, a lot with the fashion industry, a lot of it's fast fashion. So things you'll wear something. Some people will pick out an outfit for a night, wear it one time, never wear it again. And I get that, but I like items that you can wear.
More timeless.
That are timeless. Yeah, like this jacket right here. It's a satin jacket. It's like one of our best-selling things at Select, with like this Sherpa sheep lining. Just kind of like
Wow.
I don't know.
That's so
that's
nice.
super nice.
I love IU stuff, obviously.
course.
So that's one of our biggest selling
Great
things.
tailgate apparel.
Yeah.
Obviously tailgates fall's huge for us because
Yeah.
we have so many things like this. People can come and get crew neck sweatshirts,
Oh, I
you know,
love
like
it.
IU ones,
that's
stuff like
really
that, all over print stuff. Band t-shirts are
really
big
cool.
right now. So like
Yeah.
this is the John Lennon shirt. That's,
I love
you know,
that. Imagine. I love
Yeah.
I don't
that.
know. So like those sell really well for us.
Yeah.
Bobby Knight stuff sells really
Oh,
well
wow.
for us.
Oh, I'm sure.
30/30
have-
documentary just came out and it's kind of.
Yes.
Yeah, quite the collection.
Everything.
Yeah.
And this
Yeah.
is a tiny part of it.
This is like
and,
just
nothing.
some things I picked
So-
up last night that
Yeah.
I wanted to bring in.
That's
So
great.
yeah.
So we have said you are an IU alum.
Yep.
So what do you love most about being back on Indiana Avenue in the center of town? Because I really think you have a great location.
Yeah. So that's one of the biggest. When I wanted to quit my job, my parents were obviously like, "I don't really think you should quit your job. You have a really good job."
Yeah.
But being in that area, I used to, in high school, before I even went to college here, I used to go to Buffalo's. Like I'd come to a game, I'd go to Buffalo's. I think that's my favorite part about being back here is I'm on Indiana,
Yeah.
at Indiana, you know, across from the sample gates. So
Yes.
like, first restaurant freshmen come to usually is Buffalo's. When recruits come to town, like basketball recruits, football recruits, they can eat at Buffalo's because it's like an on-campus restaurant.
Right.
Most, you know, if you're a recruit, you usually can't eat, you know, you can't go to Little Zagreb's or like Malibu Grill because that's like some violation. But like Buffalo's is like the Indiana tradition, you know, kind of. So I love being part of that building. It's like actually the Gables building I'm a part of. So that's been here since the 1800s. So that really means a lot to me. Just being, you know, on Indiana is just huge to me. Like walking,
Right.
so many people walk by that. We're across from the law school. Indiana actually owns the building I'm in, so.
So much history.
Yeah, just so much history, and me just to be a part of that means a lot to me. Yeah.
That's awesome. And I know that you mentioned wanting to start more stores, so what can we kind of expect in the future?
So this summer, I plan on moving. I'm gonna move myself and kind of open up another store, kind of do the same thing, kind of, this blueprint has worked for me, so I'm
Great.
focusing on another college town, maybe in the Midwest, maybe out west, trying to eye out west, because I want, you know, Select to be only one in Indiana. I've had people come to me like, oh, you should open one in West Lafayette, or you should open one in like Columbus, or open one in Madison, and I'm like, yeah, don't really want to do any more in Indiana, especially not Purdue, because you know, I went to IU, I only want it to be one thing. We play Purdue on Saturday too, so hopefully we can beat them, but definitely another store, hopefully by this summer, but it's going to involve me picking up, moving. We'll keep our store here.
Right.
I've hired a store manager to kind of run things. He's about to be an alumni as well. He goes here. We got some great people working for us too, so it's going to be the same store. We're going to get the same great things. I just will be back and forth. I'll move, you know, come back every month or two and kind of check in on things.
Well,
That's awesome.
that's really great. I'm so happy this
Yeah.
has worked for you. And just to close things out here, what advice do you have for anyone who wants to start a business?
So with starting a business, or even like just, you know, if you're a senior and you're about to graduate,
Right.
you don't know what you're doing, do what you want to do what you're passionate about. I worked for Toyota for 1.5 years because it was a safety net. It was like, oh, this is a good paying job. A lot of young people at the company. But at the end of the day, I'd come home from work. I'd have to get up, do the same thing again. And I'm like, why am I doing this? This is my life now.
Right.
It just didn't feel right. So if you're going to start a new business, just make sure you're prepared for anything. Because there will be times where, you know, you're like, you know, making a business call or trying to, I have to pay my rent this month. What am I going to do? Just make sure you're prepared for anything and you have a good safety net of people you can rely on, not just, you know, friends and family, but, you know, while you're in college, you should network with people too. So you can reach out to, let's say I'm moving to a different state to open a store. I know people there who know
Right.
realtors or something.
Right.
Like, hey, can you keep an eye out for a location? Just kind of, you know, keep your safety net open and kind of spread yourself around and just be prepared for anything, because having your own business is a full-time job. It's not just 40 hours a week. It's, you know,
It's your life.
24/7.
yeah.
It's your life. Yeah.
Well, congrats and good luck.
Thank you so much.
We're so excited to see where this goes. And
Yes, thank you so much for joining us this
for sure.
morning.
thank you.
Thank
It's our
you, guys.
first episode of season 4, so thank you for being here.
Of course,
our
yeah.
first guest. And thank you to everyone at home for tuning in to our first episode of season 4. If you are new here, we are so happy to have you join us each week for the latest on all things Bloomington. And if you have been here since the beginning, welcome back.
Be sure to follow us on all social media at B-Town Be Fast Club. And if you are interested in joining our TBBC team, please contact Bryce at breef@indiana.edu.
That's all for now, Hoosiers. We'll see you next week.